Arunima is with us. Arunima, we've been gathering all this information from various sources, and right now, even the CEO of Rudraprayag was not wanting to comment till more information pours in. But whatever nascent reports that are pouring in, they do indicate that weather and the terrain perhaps had a role to play.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for further investigation to conclusively reach any point as to why this happened. But looks like that weather could have played a role. Like we were discussing, these choppers and the aviators are used to the terrain because they do this multiple times on a daily basis. Suddenly, if something changed, if there was a weather condition to be blamed, or whether there was a mechanical fault, or whether it was a human error, we'll have to wait for further tests and further experts coming in to tell us. But right now, all that we know is that in the 15 minutes that the chopper took off and the crash happened, something went horribly wrong, killing all 6 on the spot. Even the people who were part of the disaster service forces, they didn't take much time to reach the spot. This happened around 11:30 to 11:45 in between that time. And within half an hour, they were there, but they could not save anyone. All 6, including 4 passengers, dead.
It's deeply unfortunate. And since you mentioned this is just a 15-minute ride, and it's just very, very disturbing to see that just a very short chopper ride had to meet such a cruel fate. Having said that, Arunima, if you could also take us through why this particular terrain is so challenging.
See, the Kedarnath Valley itself, steep, and the gradient is quite steep. The mountains are not that easy to navigate. When you reach the higher levels, the weather condition there, the overall, air pressure, everything is a challenge. Then suddenly, if it starts raining or it starts snowing, or if heavy fog develops in that valley, that adds to that challenge. Our colleague was reporting a short while back, the last time such an incident had happened was, I think, 2019. So since then, aviators have managed to navigate through this tricky valley. But today, unfortunately, was a bad day. We still don't know what exactly went wrong. As of this moment, we only know that the weather is unpredictable, that the weather situation was not very conducive. Did that finally lead to this unfortunate crash? We don't know. All we can confirm is that from Garud Chatti, this chopper took off, and within 15 minutes, debris were spotted by locals. In no time, people associated with disaster services, including ITBP, including the district administration, they all managed to reach the spot, but all they could extract were bodies. The debris were burning in no time, so the crash was quite powerful.
Absolutely. Having said that, is there any information in terms of how many pilots were present in these 6 people who have lost their lives?
So what we have been told is that out of these 6, 4 were, passengers. They were pilgrims who wanted darshan at Kedarnath. 2 were aviators. So one could have been a pilot, the co-pilot. And they were ferrying these 4 people. We don't know the genders yet, how many male, how many female. Even the age is not clear. Maybe because the debris is still burning. The bodies have been pulled out, but it could take some time for the information to reach, the base camp there. So those details are still sketchy.
Right. Arunima, it's important to also highlight the fact that, Kedarnath's known to be a lovely tourist spot as well. It's outstanding for its natural beauty. There are several helicopter services present as well. But time and again, we see such incidents. The most recent prior to this one was the 2019 helicopter crash that happened. What are the challenges? Is it just the terrain and the weather?
We also have to keep in mind that these are private aviators who are flying these choppers.
Right. Please go ahead, Arunima. All right, we also joined in by Dipankar, but Dipankar जी, मैं यही जानकारी लेना चाह रही थी अरुणिमा से कि इतनी सारी प्राइवेट सर्विसेज हैं, ये एक ऐसा एरिया है जो काफ़ी वेल नोन टूरिस्ट स्पॉट भी है, लोग आते जाते रहते हैं, पर फिर भी ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स क्यों होते हैं? 2019 में सबसे लेटेस्ट रिसेंट इंसिडेंट हुआ था, क्या चैलेंजेस हैं?
बिल्कुल, सबसे बड़ा केदारनाथ रूट पे जो चैलेंज पिछले 2-3 सालों में हम देखें, केदारनाथ आपदा के बाद इसका नंबर बहुत बड़ा है और ऐसे में बहुत प्रेशर है वहाँ पर हेली सर्विसेज में। एक हेली लगभग 45 राउंड एक दिन में करता है। वन साइड अगर आप ऐड करेंगे तो लगभग उससे 24 से 25 राउंड वो साइड के और लगभग 45 to 50 राउंड एक दिन में एक हेलीकॉप्टर कंपनी को आप एक हेलीकॉप्टर करने होते हैं। तो ऐसे में चैलेंज है कि किसी तरीके से पैसेंजर्स को वहां पर पहुंचाया जाए, कैसे पैसेंजर वहां पहुंचे, इसीलिए ब्लैक मार्केटिंग, ये तमाम बातें यहाँ से निकल के आती। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी चैलेंज यहाँ पर यह भी है कि मेंटेनेंस उस तरीके से निगरानी नहीं हो पाती। डीजीसीए तमाम फॉलो करने होते हैं कंपनीज को, लेकिन बावजूद इसके तमाम बार कंपनीज उनको फॉलो नहीं, क्योंकि कंपनी इस बात का प्रेशर होता है कि कितनी जल्दी कितने पैसेंजर्स को छोड़ के कितना ज्यादा प्रॉफिट यहाँ पर बनाया जाए। और क्योंकि प्राइवेट कंपनी पे तो सबकी कोशिश ये होती है कि मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट आप जितना बना सकते हैं वो बनाए, लेकिन नॉर्म्स का इतना फॉलो नहीं होता। इस बार हमने देखा था इसी सीजन में थम्बी एयरलाइंस का एक हेलीकॉप्टर तो अचानक से जिसने जंप किया था केदारनाथ में हेलीपैड पे, उसका डीजीसीए ने उसको लेकर बहुत ही क्वेश्चन किए थे कि ऐसा कैसे पायलट वहां पर इतना रिस्क ले सकता है उनकी जान के साथ। तो केदारनाथ रूट पर अब जबकि आप देखो कि यात्रा को बहुत कम दिन बचे, 27 तारीख को कपाट बंद हो जाएंगे केदारनाथ के, और इस साल का एंड होते होते ये जो इंसिडेंट हुआ है ये कहीं ना कहीं क्वेश्चन मार्क है कंपनीज पे, उनकी सर्विसेज पे, और कितनी मेंटेनेंस वो करते होंगे फॉलो, कितने डीजीसीए के रूल्स फॉलो होते होंगे, ऐसे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन मार्क है। लेकिन अभी जब तक रीजन पता नहीं चलता कि इस एक्सीडेंट का रीजन क्या है, मौसम अगर रीजन है तो फिर इश्यू दूसरा है, लेकिन अगर हेली कंपनी की वजह से कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो फिर इश्यू दूसरा है।
दीपांकर जी हमारे साथ बने रहिए। आई एम ऑल्सो जॉइंड इन बाय रिद्धिमा भटनागर who also reports on aviation. Riddhima, what Dipankar was pointing out is a very, very valid and pertinent point to this entire issue. Now the question that arises as far as all these private helicopter services being provided to the area of Kedarnath is, are the DGCA norms being adhered to? Are these private companies somewhere sort of compromising with these norms for the sake of profit?
Well, Akanksha, it'll be too early to jump to conclusions like that. The details that we have are very sketchy as of now. Initial details are now suggesting, as Arunima was rightly pointing out, this was a private company. The Aryan Aviation Bell 407 is the details that we are picking up. It took off with about 5 to 6 passengers. There is still a grey area there, but what we can confirm now is that there were 2 people on board from the aviation company. One, in fact, was a pilot. That is the confirmation that we do have as of now. But as Arunima was also rightly pointing out a short while ago, that most of these private aviation companies, they do this on a day-to-day basis numerous times, so the checks and balances actually are in place. What experts as of now, because the details are still sketchy, are suggesting that this unfortunate tragedy could have taken place because of bad weather. Fog is one of the reasons that is currently being looked into. But whether some protocols were flouted, that's too early to say as of now.
But Riddhima, having said that, if one was to also refer to the chopper incident of 2019 when it crashed, the fact of the matter that time was also that the crash took place because there were some technical issues with the chopper, and at the time of emergency landing, that is when the chopper had crashed. So I do agree with what you're saying. Having said that, I'm sure that the terrain also has a role to play.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a very tricky terrain. There is no taking away from that fact, coupled with the fact that the weather conditions weren't favorable. So whether did the pilots have some sort of information about bad weather, and did they still decide to go forward? All of those, as I said, are still in the hypothetical realm, and we'll have to wait for an investigation. You've already seen that tweet that is being put out by the aviation minister, Jyotiraditya Scindia, who's also said that the aviation minister is also in touch with the state government. So details are sketchy as of now, but the aviation ministry is also closely monitoring these developments. We'll still have to wait and see of what really led to this crash. But as I pointed out, unfortunately, we're already getting confirmation of bodies being recovered. It was a time period of about 15 minutes when the flight actually went down. What really led to it? That's the big question. One pilot on board, that's the confirmation that we have.